Okay, so here we go. This is the pellet burner I made. It's the second one I've made. I know I can make improvements, but I'm sort of playing around. I tried this out and a lot of the pellets came out the side, so I brazed on these side plates out of pretty thin sheet metal, and I used my MagneGas torch to do that, and I'm going to see how well these brazes hold up from the heat. And then this one I did the same thing. It was 3 blobs. I quickly wire brushed it with kind of a rough wire brush. I could have done it better, but you know, you can see it has the brazing has a nice gold look to it. So this goes in here, and this is a mixture of this is a lot of this is a Peapoddy 1 design, my basic rocket stove, which is over here. You can see that here's the secondary intake, and you can't really see it, but basically it's a small one, about a 3-inch diameter chimney, and there's a little kick here, so you get a little vortex happening in there. Here I added a little extension. My idea was to put in a baking pan, you know, a box to bake potatoes and things like that in here. But for now I'm trying to get the performance going, and actually it's just a mix of ideas. This is also from the Peapoddy 1 design, this firebox, except it's a mini one to go with the mini rocket stove. And then in here I've got the stove inside of this old propane tank, and this adds to the chimney height. But basically it's a 4-inch pipe inside of a 6-inch with some perlite inside of there. It's kind of rotted and old, but it still kind of works. And the height of this is about the length of this, more or less. Let's see. Which is the important thing about the rocket stove that some people say, especially David S., who's also an amazing rocket stove maestro. He's making some really cool rocket stoves. This thing, all right, goes up to 22 inches to the top of the stack there. And then if we look here, we should have about 22 between this point and the beginning of the chimney, which I don't think I have at all, actually. Actually, I'm wrong about the 22 inches. But first of all, this is 16 inches from here to here. The 22 inches is actually, you take that from the top of the stove. So it's right about here. So it's about 17 inches actually. So we have 17 height, chimney, and 16 wide until the firebox. So that's almost perfect, but we're just going to see how this thing works. And I'm going to put this on top of here, and then I've got this old rusty goy bean can vortex maker that if we get a big flame coming out of here, we'll see what happens with that. And then I've got this piece of 4-inch pipe coming up here, and that's just like an 8-foot piece, I guess, and that will help bring the exhaust up and away if we decide to cover this with a pan or something like that. And I can take this thing off too. So anyway, that's it, and next we'll fire this up. That'll be the next video, and we'll see what happens. And basically we're testing those brazings, because the other idea is I may just you can see there's gaps here. I'm going to leave them for now. Well, I'm going to put this fire brick on top of it, but they still kind of leak. But I could maybe braze this with the MagneGas torch and see how it holds up, and then also see but it's also easy to disassemble. So you can do kind of quicker testing of the rocket stove performances and things like that. Also in this firebox, I added this piece of steel down here. I didn't really show that, but and we'll see how that handles. You can see a big gap on the side there. I might cover that up with a brick before I fire this up or something, you know, but later I can tweak it with the brazing and the heat and all that to try to make it perfectly airtight. But for now we're going to just see what kind of flame I can get out of here, because before it was cranking like crazy, and I'm trying to tone it down a little bit with these some of these modifications and the length thing. Well, the length might help the efficiency, so we'll see what happens. Okay, over and out.